Hey, this is Chelsea Dupre, host of CJ and Cell. Thanks for listening to the following podcast on Public House Media.
This is Madeline, host of Crowned and Dangerous here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back to check out my show, Crowned and Dangerous, where Jessica and I talk about our time in the pageant world. A new show comes out bi-weekly on Thursdays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Crowned and Dangerous. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Hello, my rewritten crew. I hope you all are doing amazing. You're having a great week. I am so excited about today's episode. But first, thank you for being a listener. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing this with a friend. It really means a lot. That is how this podcast will continue to grow. And I couldn't be more thankful to have you as a listener, to have you as someone who I get to partner with in life of wanting more out of life, want to live life on fire, on purpose, to chase potential and just experience life to the fullest. That is what's up, and that is worth celebrating. So thank you for being a part of this community. Public House Media, thank you for making this podcast happen. You are the details behind how it gets uploaded, and I'm just really, really grateful. Thank you for making this dream come true. Okay, let's get in the meat to our call. I'm so serious about this one. This one is, I called it the biggest dream killer, and it's things that I've talked about before, but I feel like we need reminders. We need course correction. We need a voice in our mind telling us and reminding us of our potential, our worth, and helping us understand certain ways we get off track or things that we might be struggling with that we don't realize. Because again, we are fighting habits we have built for a lifetime, and in order to level up, we have to go against them. So that is what I hope to do with you today. I posted a quote. I'm a big quote person, and it got a lot of attention. And this quote is, "Trust me. Nobody is as successful as Instagram makes them to look, and nobody is as pretty as the filters make them seem. The only healthy and worthwhile comparison is you yesterday versus you today. Focus on that." I'm very transparent with sharing my story, and the times I'm the most transparent through vulnerability of weaknesses, struggles, things I've overcome, mourning, loss, real life stuff, is when I feel the most connected to those who are following me. And as we set out on this journey, putting our stories out there, going for it, it's going to cost something. And a lot of times when you choose to live differently, choose to live abundantly, choose to live in a way that is healthier and happier, especially when those around you are not, they're going to share their opinions. Ed Mylett is my virtual mentor. He's amazing. And he wrote this: "If you are emotionally dependent on other people's approval, you will always be captive in a prison controlled by others. The irony is that these other people likely have very little long-term significance in your life, yet you're willing to give away your precious power, emotions, and control. The biggest dream killer of so many is their addiction to the opinions of others." Friend, how many of us have struggled with this? I really do think that is what holds most people back from living out the life they desire to live. They are so focused and so worried about the opinions of other people. And this is going to be my advice, because I believe the more you work on yourself, the more you can minimize tiny minds and people's opinions that you know don't move the needle for you. I think that there are opinions that are really good and helpful. I think it's amazing to be coachable. I think it's important to listen to certain voices, but this is how you start to pick this apart. Many times, I mentor and work with women who are starting or continuing on their fitness and nutrition journey. And what I do and what I seek to do is I also love helping women with their self-care, but I want to show them how they can turn that into a business. First of all, it makes you more accountable, and it's pretty much like getting paid to work out. Like, that's pretty cool, right? Well, as I mentor so many people and so many women, I see that the thing that holds them back the most is this fear of the opinions of other people. They're so worried about people mocking them, making fun of them, or just not taking them seriously. And I think at the end of the day, it makes you feel unloved, or it makes you feel not enough. I really do think that that is the actual fear, but it's clouded by this opinion or what people are going to say, right? And how do you work through that? Like, how do you move past that and show up anyway? Because it's going to happen. That's the thing. But it's not going to happen as frequently or as often or as much as you think. In fact, it's going to be way less, and it's going to be sporadic and random. It might be more at first, but later on, the more you do this, the more you live the way you live, people are just going to get used to it. But it's also how you allow people to treat you. So my advice or my recommendation is this. The way you're seeking to live your life, it's really important on who you follow, who you surround yourself with, and where you're getting fed. So for example, people will say, oh, I've tried that before. I've done at-home workouts and they just don't work, or I had a really terrible experience with it, right? Well, if that were to be the case, I would tell that person, that hasn't been my experience. I'm so sorry you had a bad experience, but just as much as there's one bad teacher doesn't make all teachers bad, right? A bad experience doesn't make this actual experience horrible. It's just you didn't have the best one. But now I want you to think about this. So women who join me and they work on their fitness and nutrition, the people who are usually giving them the opinions that it's stupid, that it's a waste of money, that it doesn't work, are the people who aren't doing that, haven't had success with it, or quit. Because my experience is that it's changed and transformed my life. I've lost 35 pounds. I've gotten in the best shape of my life. I love it. I love fitness. I show up. It's a habit. It's not even anything I have to think about anymore. I just do it. And I believe women join alongside me is because they see my success. They see my work ethic. They see me showing up every single day. That the opinions of the people who aren't doing it shouldn't matter. And that's how you pick this apart. Say you want to go debt-free. The people who are giving you opinions more than likely aren't the people who are debt-free. The people's opinions or the guidance that you want are the people who are debt-free. Isn't it so wild that we let people have these opinions in our life that aren't living the way that we would want? And I always say this to those I mentor. I say, would you want to trade places with that person? Would you want their life? If your answer is no, then don't take their advice. Set up a boundary. Hey, you can either cheer me on or you can say nothing at all, but I'm not going to tolerate you being negative or saying these things. I'm going to do this thing. I would love your support, but if that's not something you can give me, I just would like nothing at all. how you live your life, it is vital that you're surrounding yourself with people who are living the kind of life that you are wanting to create. For me, in my business, it was important for me to surround myself and sit at a table with women who've already built a business that I wanted, that they were crushing it, that they were hardworking, and I wanted to learn from them. I wanted to grow for them and grow for them and with them and all these things. And the thing is that people who are successful, happy, and confident aren't going to tell you not to go for it. They are going to tell you to chase it, go for it, take the risk, take the leap. You can do it. And that's who I want to surround myself with. Because people who are successful and hardworking, they're secure. And they aren't looking for any validation or confidence by tearing other people down, pointing other people's flaws. Because when people are doing that, they are typically feeling a certain way themselves. They can't do it. They're inadequate. They're feeling unhealthy. They're not feeling their best. And it intimidates them to see you go for it. They would never admit that, but it's the truth. They'll mock what you're doing is stupid. But if they're not doing it and they're not having success with it, why on earth would you take their opinion? And this gets in the way of so many people. People love vulnerability. So many people I mentor are so afraid to put their stories out there. But as that quote I read earlier, no one is as successful as Instagram makes them to look, and nobody as pretty as the filters make them seem. If you can just own and share your story and someone has a problem with that, that's on them because it's your story. This is your one and only life. I encourage you to live it. Live it out with authenticity and don't hold back because you're not going to be at the end of your life wishing that you would have continued to listen to all of these people who got in the way of your potential. And in fact, you're letting them. You're letting those fears of the opinions of other people stop you from living your best life. Friend, just go for it. Surround yourself with people who are living the way you want to live. And I swear to you, I swear you'll see a mental shift and you will not even hesitate on how you want to live. Thanks for tuning in. Please screenshot this. Let me know how this episode spoke to you. I can't wait to hear. At Julianne Condia or at The Rewritten Society. Just tag me and we'll chat. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your week.